I just transmigrated into a book. Thomas stood above me with two bodyguards looking down. Mr. Johnson, Miss Taylor said that if you try to run away again, she want me to break your legs. Consider yourself warned. Who told you to oppose Sophia? He then set a bowl of sour leftover food in front of me, his eyes full of contempt. This is your meal for today. If you dare knock it over again. For the next 3 days, you'll be eating air. After saying that, Thomas tried to leave with his two bodyguards. I just scoffed. Wait, what? Thomas spun around in shock, and I slapped him hard across the face. I drove my knee into his abdomen. Thomas's face contorted in pain. He hunched over and with a thud dropped to his knees. I grabbed his hair and smashed his head against the wall. Damn it! An old dog dares to bark at its master. I'll cripple you today. Thomas was hit, blood streaming from his head, and he shouted urgently. Damn it! What are you standing there for? Give that useless piece of trash a brutal lesson. As long as you don't kill him, breaking or maiming him counts. The other two bodyguards only then reacted. They both lunged at me. I landed a straight punch to the face of one of the bodyguards. The bodyguard immediately had blood gushing from his nose, stars flashing before his eyes. Another bodyguard was kicked hard in the abdomen by me and was sent flying backwards. With a boom, he crashed into the door of the underground activity room. Clang! The main door of the underground activity room came crashing down. All the nannies who rushed over were stunned. Is this still the same meek son-in-law from before? Not good. Mr. Johnson has had an episode. Let's not go near him. Mr. Johnson is mentally ill. If he really beat someone to death, it'd be a pointless death. Mr. Johnson has been confined for 3 days and hasn't taken his medicine. No wonder Mr. Johnson is so strong. I heard that when a madman has an episode, 5 or 6 people can't hold him down. Hearing the servant's conversation, only then did I become certain I had been transported into that cheesy drama I had just watched. And I become the weak male supporting character in the book. The book's female lead is named Sophia. The Taylor family has an inherited hereditary disease. All the women have an extremely lean constitution and don't live past 25. Unless combined with an extreme young constitution, can one survive. George searched all over Bayport City, but couldn't find an extreme young body. Until one time, Sophia's car accidentally plunged into the water, and she nearly drowned. It was the original owner who desperately smashed open the car window and pulled the unconscious Sophia out. It was this time that the original owner became deeply captivated by Sophia's beauty. George, in order to thank the original owner for saving his life, came to visit in person, but it was unexpectedly discovered that the original owner was actually the rare, pure, young constitution. So he proposed a marriage alliance between the two families. The original owner was already so consumed by thoughts of Sophia that he could neither eat nor sleep. Without a second thought, he agreed. George forced Sophia's childhood playmate Liam to be sent abroad for the sake of the marriage between the two families going smoothly. He forcibly sent Sophia's little playmate Liam overseas. In the 3 years since the original owner married into the Taylor family, Liam became the heroine Sophia's unresolved regret, the white moonlight in her heart. Sophia didn't believe in any extreme constitution at all, or in any ancestral rule that one wouldn't live past 25. She vented all the resentment over Liam being sent abroad onto the original owner. No matter how humbly the original tried to ingratiate herself, he prepared loving breakfast for her every day and carefully arranged all kinds of gifts. All he got in return were sarcastic sneers and emotional coldness. For 3 years they bore the name of husband and wife, but not the reality. Because of this, the original owner developed severe depression and had tendencies towards self-harm. Also has intermittent mania and has been on medication. 3 years later, Sophia is about to turn 25. George is gravely ill. Sophia, holding the reins of the Taylor Group, immediately arranged for her first love, Liam, to return to the country. On the day of his return, Sophia had Liam move into the bridal suite that she and the original owner shared. The original owner was completely unhinged and demanded loudly, Sophia, it's the first day Bai Wong is back in the country, and you put him in our bridal suite. Do you think I'm dead? Liam instantly felt wronged, and tears fell. Sophia, Ethan doesn't seem to welcome me very much. Please don't fight because of me. Maybe I should just leave, after saying that he tried to go, but Sophia grabbed him. She looked at the original owner with extreme impatience. Ethan, you're nothing but a son-in-law by marriage to my Taylor family. This is my Taylor family. I decide who gets to live here. You have no right to boss me around. If you can't stand it, then get out and find your own place to live. Don't be in Liam's way. The original owner couldn't bear this humiliation and left the Taylor household that very day. But Liam still wouldn't let him go. Using the test drive of Sophia's new sports car as an excuse, he chased after him. One stomp on the gas sent the original owner flying. Fortunately, the original owner fell into the ornamental pond and thus avoided life-threatening injuries. They were rushed to Bayport Private Hospital for emergency treatment. Sophia, however, forced the original owner to sign a letter of apology. The original host's eyes were bloodshot as he stared fixedly at Sophia. Sophia, you're my wife. Can't you see Liam did it on purpose? And now you want me to forgive him? Sophia's expression immediately darkened. Ethan, do you think Liam meant to hit you? Well, I not know that. He just hasn't driven a sports car in ages. That's why he got nervous for a moment. If you hadn't been deliberately walking in the middle of the road, how could he have hit you? I think you set him up on purpose. I didn't expect you, Ethan, to be so vicious. I'm telling you, are you signing or not? Your Johnson family has been able to develop these past few years entirely because of the support from my Taylor family. Don't force me to take action against your Johnsons. Just then, the original owner's father Arthur's call came in. On the other end of the line, he unleashed a barrage of scolding at the original owner. Finally, using severing ties as a pretext, they forced the original owner to sign. After signing, the original owner had a manic episode and wreaked havoc in the hospital. After the hospital reevaluation, the original owner showed clear symptoms of schizophrenia. Sophia was considering whether to send the original owner to a psychiatric hospital. When George found out, he was so furious he nearly choked. He warned Sophia that if she dared to send Ethan away, he would make her while donating all of Taylor Group's assets. Don't let Sophia inherit a single cent. Sophia's attitude finally had to soften. After endless coaxing, she calmed the original owner down and brought her back to the Taylor household. But how could Liam possibly give up? Not even 2 days later, he deliberately fell down the stairs to frame the original owner. Sophia looked at Liam, his head broken and bloodied, her heart shattered to pieces. Her eyes were bloodshot as she stared fixedly at the original owner. Beat him for me, for what Liam suffered. I wanted to pay back 100 times over. No matter how the original owner tried to explain, it was useless. He was pinned to the ground by bodyguards and brutally beaten within an inch of his life. He was then thrown into the underground recreation room and confined for 3 days and nights, until I crossed over into this world. Now I was savagely beating Thomas's aged face. Thomas heard the maid's words and was truly frightened this time. I'm a diagnosed mental patient. Even if you beat him to death, it would really be a senseless death. He wept bitterly while frantically begging for mercy. Mr. Johnson, I know I was wrong. Please show mercy. Spare me this once. Stop hitting me, Mr. Johnson. I sneered at the corner of my mouth. As expected, in this female-oriented world, you still have to rely on fists to solve problems. This body hadn't eaten for 3 days. After that series of movements, I suddenly felt dizzy and lightheaded. Smack! I slapped him across the face again. Since you know you were wrong, go make me some food. If you ever show me disrespect again, I won't be so easygoing. Thomas was overjoyed and hurriedly shouted at the nannies who were watching the commotion. What are you dawdling for? Aren't you going to prepare food for Mr. Johnson? Do you want Mr. Johnson to starve? What on earth are your intentions? How can you treat Mr. Johnson like this? Thomas quickly led people to prepare the food. I went upstairs to take a shower and put on the original's best-looking bespoke suit. I opened my phone. It was full of taunting videos sent by Liam. There was one of him and Sophia dining together at a Western-style couples restaurant. There was another of the two of them being surrounded by a circle of people in a European-style bar, egged on to drink from a shared cup. There were still two people standing shoulder to shoulder watching the sunrise. The latest one was that Sophia bought him a brand new, top-of-the-line, $10 million sports car. In the video, Liam's eyes were provocative. Ethan, you're nothing but a son-in-law of the Taylor family, just a dog. Sophia has never bought you a gift, has she? If you were smart, you'd divorce Sophia sooner. Otherwise, I have plenty of ways to deal with you. I shot back. You idiot! Who the hell are you pretending to be? Then I decisively saved the video. I checked my bank account balance again and found there was only $2.50. I was instantly furious. I stormed into the monitoring room and downloaded the videos of Liam slandering me and Sophia abusing me. Then I took out the only heirloom Sophia's mother had left her, the royal sapphire bracelet. He even found time to print a copy of the agreement severing ties with the Johnson family. I first sent Sophia the video of Liam's sports car and the photos of the bracelet. Sophia, you actually fucking bought the mistress a $10 million luxury car. You have half an hour to transfer me $20 million, or else wait to collect your bracelet as a corpse. After sending the message, I then swaggered over to the dining table to eat. At that time, Sophia was still overseas negotiating business. It had been less than a minute since the message was sent. Sophia's calls suddenly started coming in like crazy. I hung up on each one. She called 99 times in a row, and I didn't pick up any of them. She could only call Thomas's phone. Bruised and battered, Thomas stood to one side, constantly bobbing and bowing into the phone. Cold sweat on my forehead wouldn't stop. Miss Taylor, it's not that I didn't try to intervene, but neither my bodyguard nor we can't beat him. I really can't do anything. Yes. I'm worthless. I waved to Thomas and took the phone. Miss Taylor has quite the temper. Hearing it was me on the other end, the voice suddenly rose. Ethan, if you dare touch that bracelet, I'll kill you. I sipped my nourishing porridge without the least panic and replied calmly. All right, Sophia, if you got the guts, then bring it on. I'll remind you once more. You have 5 minutes to think it over. There was complete silence on the other end of the line. Only Sophia's rapid breathing remained. Ethan, she clenched her teeth tight and spoke each word deliberately. How dare you threaten me? Do you know how important that bracelet is to me? For more minutes. I was too lazy to listen to her nonsense and cut her off. Miss Taylor, if I were you, I wouldn't say another word. You know me, I'm mentally unstable. If my hand slips and this bracelet falls. The sound of her high heels pacing came from the other end of the line. She suppressed her anger, saying nothing. 3 minutes later, my phone suddenly chimed with a notification of a $20 million deposit. Sophia's voice sounded once again. Ethan, the money has arrived. Hurry and hand the jade bracelet over to Thomas. Or else, when I get back. She hadn't finished speaking when my hand trembled and the bracelet slipped from my fingers to the floor. With a sharp crack, it shattered into several pieces. Sophia obviously also heard the bracelet shatter. There was a death-like silence on the other end of the line. Not even her breathing could be heard. After a full 6 seconds, Sophia let out a heart-rending wail. Ethan, Johnson. I casually glanced at the bracelet broken into 3 pieces and let out a light laugh into the phone. Sorry, my hand slipped. Miss Taylor, you know how it is. My mental illness can't stand threats. As soon as I hear one, my hands tremble badly. You're looking for death. Sophia's voice trembled with rage. Ethan, I'm going to make you wish you were dead. I'm going to make the Johnson family vanish from Bayport City. Before she finished, I simply hung up the phone. Thomas stood to one side, so frightened his face had gone white and his legs went weak. I had just hung up Sophia's call when, 5 minutes later, the original owner's father Arthur called. Without thinking, I hung up. More than half an hour later, Arthur stormed into the Taylor family's villa in a fury. When he saw me, he looked as if he had found his father's murderer, his eyes red with anger. He hadn't even reached us when an enraged voice came shouting. "Ethan, are you trying to get yourself killed? You actually smashed Sophia's mother's keepsake? You wretch! Do you want the Johnson family to be buried alongside you?" I sat on the sofa, leisurely eating the after-dinner fruit. A baseball bat lay ready at my feet. "Mr. Johnson, what's all this anger about?" I spoke calmly and casually tossed him an orange. "Want to eat an orange first to calm down." Arthur saw something flying toward him. He instinctively caught it, and upon seeing it was an orange, he grew even angrier. "What did you call me? Mr. Johnson? I'm your dad. Ethan, what on earth are you trying to do?" I picked up the baseball bat and with a boom smashed a huge European classical vase beside me to pieces. The enormous noise gave Arthur a huge fright. Thomas and the servant screamed even louder in terror. He looked at the vase shards all over the floor, his right hand fingers trembling as he angrily pointed at me. "Ethan, you're crazy." I narrowed my eyes and smashed another huge European-style classical vase. I grabbed the baseball bat and walked toward Arthur step by step. The bat scraped the floor, making a piercing noise. "Crazy," I chuckled lightly. "Mr. Johnson, don't you know I have a mental illness? Or should I show you the diagnosis?" Arthur was so frightened that he stumbled backward repeatedly, nearly falling with a misstep. Don't come any closer. You just asked, what do I want to do?" I suddenly raised the baseball bat in my hand and slammed it hard into the glass coffee table beside me. With a loud boom, the glass coffee table shattered on impact. Shards of glass flew everywhere. "I want to tear this villa down." I slammed the pre-prepared severance agreement into his face. "Mr. Johnson, $20 million to buy out the father-son relationship between us. I can have everyone present testify that everything I, Ethan, did today, I bear sole responsibility for. It has nothing to do with you or the Johnson family. This way, perhaps Sophia won't take her anger out on you. I'll only give you 3 minutes to decide. Otherwise, with Sophia's temper, if your Johnson Enterprises goes bankrupt, the losses will be far more than just this amount of money." After saying that, I didn't wait for him to answer. I raised the baseball bat and started smashing wildly. The fish tank, the TV, the crystal ornaments, I smashed them all to pieces. A few bodyguards tried to stop me, but they didn't dare rush in. Only Thomas rushed up to pull me away like he didn't care about his life, his voice trembling, choked with sobs. "Mr. Johnson, don't smash it. If Miss Taylor blames us, get lost." I kicked him aside. I looked at Arthur with cold eyes. "Mr. Johnson, if I hadn't married into the Taylor family, how many tens of millions of dollars in profit would you be making each year? Think carefully. Don't pick up sesame seeds only to lose the watermelon." Arthur watched me brandish the baseball bat, ready to strike, his eyes full of terror. He finally became certain. His son was truly mad. He shouted urgently, "Stop, stop, stop. I'll transfer the money to you right now." The baseball bat in my hand froze midair as I grinned at him. Mr. Johnson finally came to his senses. Arthur's face was ashen. He fumbled his phone out with trembling hands and bit his lip in silence. I watched him make the transfer, swung the baseball bat once, and didn't forget to remind him. "Remember to note, voluntary gift." Arthur glared at me fiercely, gritted his teeth, and did as told. 2 minutes later, a text alert, $20 million deposited. "Ethan, you'd better remember what you said today. None of your actions have anything to do with my Johnson family. If you dare drag me into this, I will never let you off." I put my phone away satisfied and tossed him the agreement to sever ties. "Enough talk, just sign it." Arthur looked at the agreement I'd already signed and, trembling, signed his own name. The agreement was made in duplicate. I put 1 copy away. "Very well. Now, Mr. Johnson can get lost." Arthur looked at me deeply, his expression complicated. In the end, he turned away despondently and left. After he left, I casually tossed the baseball bat to the ground and looked at Thomas, who was slumped on the floor. "Call Sophia and tell her I don't like this furniture." I smashed it. "Have her replace it with new stuff right away." Thomas collapsed on the ground, his face deathly pale. His lips trembled. He couldn't utter a single word. I barked angrily. "Didn't you hear me? I heard you. Thomas was startled, scrambling to his feet and trembling as he dialed the phone. I whistled and leisurely went upstairs. Thomas's stammering voice came through. Me, Miss Taylor. Mr. Johnson. He smashed up the whole living room. Sophia's sharp roar came through the phone. Ethan, tell him to wait for me. I'm coming back to the country right away. I will make him pay. I returned to the master bedroom and threw all of Liam's things out. This Sophia really is head over heels in love with her white moonlight. She sleeps in the secondary bedroom herself and actually gave the best master bedroom to that damn green tea Liam. That night, I was sleeping soundly in bed. Outside, Liam had been out all day enjoying himself in his brand new sports car, and he finally came back. He saw me sleeping in the bed he usually slept in. Anger flared in an instant. Now that Sophia wasn't home, he stopped pretending. Liam yanked back my covers and snarled, his face twisted. Who the hell allowed you to sleep here? Get the hell back to your doghouse. You're just a dog of the Taylor family, and you actually think you're Sophia's husband? I looked at him and immediately burst out laughing. That dog actually dares to prance in front of me. I'm full and satisfied now. I have plenty of strength. He saw me smile and grew even more furious. What are you laughing at? You useless piece of trash. Your family despises you. Sophia doesn't love you. What use are you in this world? If I were you, I'd have killed myself long ago, seeing that I wasn't as sad and distressed as before. Instead, I smiled increasingly brightly, which made him even angrier. You damn piece of trash. What the hell are you laughing at? I'm telling you, you're done for. Thomas said that today you not only broke Sophia's mother's heirloom, but also smashed up the living room. Sophia is already on her way back to the country. Let's see who can save you this time. You useless piece of trash. You actually sought your own death. But I suppose you're clever in a way. It saves me the trouble of dealing with you. Rest assured, once you're dead, I'll take good care of Sophia for you. I swung my legs off the bed and looked at him with a smile. Finished talking? What? Liam was momentarily stunned. He never expected me to react this way. The next second, I slapped him across the face. That slap packed a lot of force. Liam was slapped and sent flying sideways. With a loud bang, he crashed into the edge of the cloakroom door. Liam clutched his rapidly swelling face, his mind blank. He looked up, incredulous, his eyes wide. Ethan, you dare hit me? Hit you? So what if I hit you? Do I need to pick a special day for it? I rushed over and launched a flurry of punches and kicks at him. Stop! Liam cried out in panic. Ethan, are you insane? You just wait. I'll definitely tell Sophia. He clenched his pain and fumbled out his phone. Just as he was unlocking it, I snatched it from him in one grab. In the book, this Liam is not someone to be taken lightly. He'd been up to many tricks overseas in recent years. That dark-skinned woman was especially his favorite. Every time he would record the whole process and keep it to enjoy later. He had saved hundreds of such indescribable short videos on his phone. I opened the album in the overseas social app and took a look. Sure enough, the densely packed, unsightly images popped up. I decisively sent them all to my phone. Liam finally realized something, struggling desperately, shouting, "Give them back! Damn it! Give me back my phone!" Liam, panicked, lunged to snatch the phone, but I easily dodged him. "TSK Tisk, you've been living well abroad all these years, haven't you?" I turned the phone toward him. Tell me if Sophia saw these. What would her reaction be? Liam went pale, a flicker of terror finally appearing in his eyes as his voice trembled. What do you want to do?" "What I want to do?" I put my phone away and slapped him across the face. "Of course I want you to disappear from in front of me. Never fucking show up in front of me again. Got it?" Before he could answer, I grabbed his collar and started dragging him out. Liam was really panicking this time. His eyes were full of alarm. "Ethan, what are you trying to do? I warn you, don't go acting up just because you're mentally ill." Gradually, his voice took on a sob. "I'm sorry. Ethan, you're my real brother. I really know I was wrong. Please delete the video. I'll agree to anything." I dragged him straight to the stairwell. "Liam, weren't you the one who wronged me last time, pushing me down the stairs? This time, I'll make it happen for you." No sooner had I finished speaking than Liam's face went ashen white. No, no. He gripped the stair rail with both hands, his voice trembling terribly. Ethan, I was wrong. I really know I was wrong. Oh, really? Only now you know you were wrong. I sneered. Too late. I pried apart the fingers gripping the handrail and glanced at his terrified face. There wasn't a shred of sympathy in my heart. A piece of green tea like him deserved to taste what it's like to be bullied. Ethan, how dare you? Liam screamed. Sophia won't let you off. Then let her come. I kicked him down. Liam's sharp scream echoed throughout the villa. Then there was a bang, and he fell straight to the ground, completely still. I'll give you a count of 3. Get out of here now, or suffer the consequences. 3, 2. The fake dead Liam didn't dare pretend any longer. He staggered up, crawling and stumbling as he rushed out of the villa. That posture and speed were comparable to the ghosts in 4 horror films. The servants in the villa, seeing this scene, looked as if they'd seen a ghost. I shouted sharply, "What are you staring at? Get back to work." The watching servants were so frightened they shuddered. In the blink of an eye, they disappeared completely. Now the world was utterly silent. The next day, I was downstairs eating breakfast. The heroine Sophia finally rushed back. She threw the door open and 7 or 8 bodyguards rushed in behind her. They stood in 2 neat rows. Sophia's face was sullen, her gaze fierce, as if she wanted to eat me alive. I leisurely took a sip of milk, not even lifting an eyelid. Miss Taylor, what a big show. I wiped the corner of my mouth with a napkin and only then raised my head. Have you had breakfast? If not, would you like to join me? Sophia was furious. Her full chest heaved violently, a bit dazzling in the early morning. She clicked over to me in high heels and swept the breakfast off the table in one motion. Her phoenix-like eyes stared at me intently. Ethan, you have some nerve. Where's Liam? I was taken aback. It seems Liam felt guilty. After I drove him out, he didn't even dare tell Sophia where he was. I slowly stood up and straightened my collar. Where did your pretty boy go? How would I know? Maybe Liam took the money you gave him and is off somewhere living it up without a care. You're talking nonsense. Sophia was so angry her face turned ashen. She ground her teeth in fury. And you even dared to smash my mother's keepsake? You really think you're my husband, that with my father's backing I wouldn't dare do something to you? Do you believe me? I'll cripple you today. Sophia raised her hand to slap me. Before I transmigrated, I was a mercenary. Could she really get the better of me? So you really think I'm the weakling of women's fiction? I turned my hand over and slapped her, striking first with a follow-up. With a smack, I knocked her straight to the ground. Sophia clutched her face, completely stunned. She never expected that the son-in-law who had licked her boots crazily and obeyed her in everything for 3 years would lay a hand on her. Even when she frowned a little, the usually cautious son-in-law would be careful. Yet he dared to treat her like this. Sophia had enjoyed smooth sailing since childhood. Even her parents had never once hit her. And now, she had been slapped by a bootlicker she had always looked down on. Her face contorted and twisted with humiliation. She turned and snarled at the bodyguards behind her. Get him! Cut off his hand! 7 or 8 bodyguards surged forward. I laughed teasingly, not retreating, but advancing. I drove a punch straight into the face of the bodyguard at the front. His nose collapsed instantly, blood spraying everywhere. I sidestepped and dodged another bodyguard's horizontal punch. I clamped my right hand tightly around his wrist and, using the momentum, twisted hard. There was a crack. His arm popped straight out of its socket. I delivered a whip-like kick to the third bodyguard's calf. He gave a muffled grunt and collapsed to the ground in an instant. Every punch I threw struck straight for the vital points, aiming for the places that hurt the most. One move was enough to render the opponent incapable of fighting. I slammed the last bodyguard over my shoulder with a vicious throw and flung him out. He slammed down hard on the newly bought coffee table. With a boom, the coffee table instantly shattered into pieces. In just 2 short minutes, the fight was over. The bodyguards lay on the ground wailing, and the entire hall was in chaos. Everyone was stunned. No one could have imagined that the worthless son-in-law everyone looked down on would possess such formidable combat power. Sophia looked as if she had seen a ghost, staring at me in terror. I casually picked up a fruit knife. This is the ultimate tyrant weapon from a female-oriented novel. Once the fruit knife appears, it ignores defense. No one can dodge. Sophia was stunned in an instant and kept retreating. What? What do you want to do? I'm warning you. Calm down. Don't you dare do anything. Let go of me. I grab her by the hair and drag her to the sofa. I sat down on the sofa and, following through, tapped her face with a fruit knife. Sophia, do you know that a mentally ill person killing someone isn't against the law? Say if I finish you off right now and then set this whole place on fire, don't you think that would be fun? Sophia stared at my deranged expression, her pupils suddenly contracting. Now she was truly scared. She trembled all over. Ethan, I was wrong. I really know I was wrong. Calm down, you must calm down. Don't get excited. I looked at her mockingly, then tapped her cheek with the fruit knife. Then tell me properly, where did you go wrong? Sophia trembled uncontrollably, tears streaming down her face. I shouldn't have let Liam move in. I shouldn't have forced you to sign the letter of forgiveness after he hit you. I shouldn't have locked you in the underground activity room. Anything else? The fruit knife in my hand kept tracing across her delicate cheek. I shouldn't have given you silent treatment. Even more, I shouldn't have looked down on you. Her voice choked. Ethan, for the sake of the 3 years we were husband and wife, spare me. Husband and wife? I sneered. Sophia, when did you ever consider me? Ethan, your husband? Have you forgotten that if I hadn't saved you back then, you would have been dead long ago? I slapped her across the face with a whack. You fucking knew Liam deliberately ran into me, and you still said I purposely stood in the road to get hit, framing him? I slapped the other side of her face. Didn't I tell you I didn't push Liam? He rolled off the building by himself to frame me. I pointed at the surveillance camera at the stairwell and asked coldly, with such a big camera right there, you put me under house arrest without even looking? You're talking to me about marital feelings? Sophia turned her head to one side, biting her lip, and said nothing. Fine. Okay, you still believe that dead green tea, huh? Look closely yourself. What kind of scum he really is. I showed her the saved surveillance footage of Liam framing me, and the disgraceful short videos he shot abroad. Sophia at first stubbornly turned her head away. But when I opened the first video, her gaze was involuntarily drawn in. The whole process of how Liam faked a fall to frame me was recorded clearly. The performance was quite clumsy and exaggerated. At this moment, it looked utterly ridiculous. No, this can't be. Liam wouldn't be like that. How could he lie to me? Sophia muttered to herself, her face gradually paling. Don't be impatient. There's more exciting stuff. I sneered and clicked on the next video. When those indecent images played, Sophia's eyes suddenly widened. Her eyes were full of disbelief. No, this can't be. This isn't real. She stared at me, trembling as she spoke. These videos must have been fabricated by you, right? Liam and I grew up together. It can't be him. Fabricated? I looked at her coldly. Sophia, do you know why you can't get in touch with Liam? Because I sent those videos from his phone. He was afraid the matter would be exposed, so he deliberately avoided meeting you. Sophia seemed to have all the strength drained from her body. For a moment, she went limp on the ground. She simply couldn't accept it. The white moonlight she had cherished in her heart turned out to be such a scumbag. No, impossible. Liam is so innocent and kind. How could he be that kind of person? It was like I suddenly remembered something and blurted out. Oh, right? I knew you wouldn't believe it. Before you stepped through the door, I specifically sent these videos to your assistant Olivia Reed for verification. If nothing went wrong, the verification results have already been sent to your phone. Your assistant is your most trusted confidant. You would not even trust her, would you? Sophia fumbled anxiously for her phone. When she saw the authentication results Olivia had sent 5 minutes earlier, she was struck as if by lightning and stood rooted to the spot. At that moment, her conviction seemed to crumble to the ground. Her tears flowed uncontrollably. She could not accept the fact, no matter what. Just then, Thomas rushed in a fluster, his voice choked with sobs. Miss Taylor, Martha Lewis called me from the hospital. George passed away there. George's last words. He insisted that you must sleep with Mr. Johnson before your birthday. The phone in Sophia's hand fell to the floor with a plop. The screen shattered. Dad! Sophia let out a heart-wrenching wail. The following days, Sophia was very busy dealing with George's funeral arrangements and inheritance issues. George had a daughter late in life and doted on Sophia lavishly. The Western-style funeral was held with exceptional solemnity. The day George was buried, the sky was overcast with dark clouds, and a fine drizzle was falling. I wore a black suit, carried a black umbrella, and finally laid down a bouquet of white carnations. George, go in peace. Your Taylor group can be left to me from now on. As for Sophia supported my arm as we walked out of the cemetery. Thomas hurried over and said in a low voice, Miss Taylor, Liam has been found. What would you like us to do now? Sophia's gaze suddenly went icy cold. Take him back to the underground activity room. I'll be there right away. Thomas answered and hurried off to make the arrangements. The underground activity room was dark and damp. Liam was being held with his hands bound behind his back by the bodyguards. When he saw Sophia, he reverted to that pitiful, delicate look. With a thud, he dropped to his knees. Sophia, what are you doing? Please let me go. Did Ethan show you those videos? Sophia, they're all fake. He fabricated them. Please don't believe him. Sophia slapped him across the face. Her gaze was icy, without a trace of warmth. Fake. Liam, you've been lying to me all this time. Sophia hurled a stack of documents hard at his face. The anger in her eyes was about to explode. You think I haven't been doing anything these past few days? Take a good look at these documents. Not only has your private life been a mess these past few years, you've also racked up huge gambling debts. You really think you can easily fool me? Liam trembled as he picked up the scattered documents from the floor, his face as pale as paper. Sophia, listen to my explanation. He scrambled over in a panic, trying to grab the hem of Sophia's skirt, but was kicked away by Sophia. Explain. Liam, I kept myself pure for you for 3 whole years, and you kept telling me you did the same? You really make me sick. You came back to the country and deliberately drove into Ethan, deliberately threw yourself down the stairs to frame him? Fine, I can let those go, but I will never allow you to lie to me and betray me. You Parker family have been barely holding on all these years only because of financial support from my Taylor family. All the expenses you've had abroad over these years were paid with my money, and you used my money to hit on those black men? Liam, how could you dare? Sophia slowly took the baseball bat from the bodyguard. A trace of malice flashed in her eyes. Now Liam was truly panicking. Liam looked at the baseball bat in Sophia's hand in horror, trembling uncontrollably. Sophia, I was wrong. I'll never dare again. Sophia, calm down. No. The next moment, Sophia steeled herself. She grabbed the baseball bat and slammed it down hard on Liam's right leg. With a crack, Liam's right leg completely buckled and warped. But that wasn't all. She stamped down with the heel of her stiletto on Liam's palm, crushing it into a bloody pulp in an instant. Liam let out a heart-rending, inhuman scream. Sophia's eyes were filled with coldness and malice. Liam, all of this is your own doing. Thomas, since Liam likes black people so much, sent him to Africa. Consider doing a favor for the sisters there. All right, Miss Taylor. Thomas agreed, and with his bodyguards forcibly dragged Liam away. Liam clenched his teeth against the agony and kept begging. Tears and snot dripped down. Sofa, I'm sorry. Please spare me. I won't dare do it again. His voice faded away. Looks like I won't see that damn manipulative woman in this lifetime. A week later was Sophia's birthday. George had not been buried long, so there was no grand ceremony. She only entertained a few close friends and girlfriends, and they dispersed early. By my reckoning, Sophia had only a few hours left to live. I lay in bed, keeping my ears on the sounds outside the door. Sure enough, it was midnight. Sophia weakly knocked on my door. Husband, save me. Ethan, please open the door. I was wrong. So Dad was telling the truth after all. Please save me, my chest hurts so much. I opened the door, stood in the doorway, and looked coldly at Sophia collapsed and limp on the floor. Blood flowed from her orifices, her face deathly pale. Her eyes were full of pleading, but in my heart there wasn't the slightest ripple. In the book, the original owner had been imprisoned in the underground activity room the whole time. He could only eat food worse than what dogs get. But when Sophia fell ill, it was only then that I suddenly realized everything her father had said was true. She begged the original owner to save her in much the same way. The original owner was kind-hearted and, at the last moment, shared a bed with Sophia and rescued her. The next morning, Liam unexpectedly came upon the two of them sharing the same bed. He had an emotional breakdown and sought death at every turn. Sophia shifted all the blame onto the original owner. She accused the original owner of taking advantage of someone in distress and having wicked intentions. She said that to win favor with her little lover, she forcibly dragged the original owner into the underground activity room and tortured him to death. But Sophia lived happily with Liam, someone with such a viperous heart. She still expects me to save her? Thinking this, the corner of my mouth twitched into a small smile. Sophia, it's the 21st century now. How can anyone believe in those feudal superstitions? We must believe in science. Sophia writhed on the ground in painful agony. Blood seeped continuously from her 7 orifices. She trembled as she reached out and clutched my trouser leg tightly. No, this isn't superstition. I was wrong. Please, I beg you, save me. I beg you to share a bed with me. I crouched down and gently patted her face. Sophia, although you are beautiful, but in your current ghastly state, I really can't bring myself to do it. I pulled my hand back disdainfully and wiped it again and again on her white nightgown. Or else kneel and beg me. Maybe I'll consider it. Sophia clenched her teeth against the excruciating pain, knelt on the floor, and kept bowing her head. I was wrong. Husband, please, please save me. Sleep with me. Her whole face was distorted, looking especially deranged. I'll give you whatever you want, shares, the company, everything I have. I stood up, looking down from above, watching her plead with cold eyes. Sophia, if you were to die, as your lawful husband, shouldn't all of this rightfully be mine to inherit? Sophia's pupils contracted sharply. She finally realized that I no longer cared about whether she lived or died. She became even more hysterical. Ethan, you planned this all along. Ethan, you love me so much. How could you not save me? Damn it. Ethan, you bastard. I watched her go mad, watched her writhe in pain on the ground. Sophia, I stopped loving you a long time ago. This tactic from the women's fiction side is indeed devastating. Sophia completely fell apart, screaming and shouting. Impossible. How can you not love me? You treat me so well. You're just Sophia's bootlicker. How can you not love me? The loud commotion drew Thomas and the servants. I hurriedly shouted towards them. Hurry, call an ambulance. By the time Sophia was taken away in the ambulance, she had already fallen into a coma. The hospital performed emergency resuscitation all night. In the end, they still couldn't save her. I pretended to be very sad. At her funeral, I fainted from crying several times. Everyone wept for my deep sorrow. One by one, they urged me to restrain my grief and insisted I pull myself together. After all, the massive Taylor group and the rest were waiting for me to manage. Hearing those words, I almost laughed out loud. This outrageous fortune has finally come to me. My dear ex-wife, wish you a good journey. Goodbye and fare thee well.